Okay, we are now up to turn 23. This will be the May 22nd, 1915 turn. Italy has just entered the war, so we're going to be seeing probably a good bit of action on that front for the next couple of turns, at least until things get bogged down in the Alps. Alright, so the Central Powers are going for Belgrade now. They're going to open up with a heavy artillery barrage, first by German artillery and then by Austrian artillery. The max number of artillery shells has been reduced from 10 to 6 for this mod. That's partly to keep artillery from being quite so lethal. As you can see, it's still pretty potent. These are the Germans under von Kluck. And Belgrade's defense does fall. Austrians move in. That helps too. They damage the HQ unit for the Serbs, which will hurt Serbia's supply as well. So now that we've broken through Belgrade, we can start really putting some heavy pressure on the Serbs. Another thing that helps a lot is that we now have two HQ units, one for the Germans and one for the Austrians. That's going to help the Central Powers keep the supply advantage throughout the Serbian invasion. Supply is very key to how well it's going to go there. This is the Carpathian front in Austria. So Austria is moving up some troops to the Italian front. The Austrians trying to fight off the Russians coming down the Jakuta Pass, and you can see the Austrians are starting to find themselves in a little bit of hot water. That hit definitely hurts. Although we do manage to destroy that Russian corps. If the Russians ever break through, it's pretty much game over for the Austrians. So we're going to hope that doesn't occur. So we're basically just doing some scouting at this point, trying to figure out what we're going to do with the Germans. Hindenburg's going to push his advantage while the Russians are not dug in. Hindenburg's forces are all very high readiness, very well supplied, whereas the Russians aren't nearly as well, or not nearly as high with their readiness values. We'll start pushing in on Poland. A lot of what we're doing here is getting the Germans prepped and ready so that when their artillery arrives, which will be coming in a few turns, they can really pound away at that Russian line. Once that Russian line breaks, as long as the centrals can keep up a good bit of pressure, they can usually hang pretty well, and usually drive the Russians back to about where they were pushed back in historical 1915. Here we have a sub that ran into a British destroyer. Although the sub does seem to come out in the better end of that fight. Here you can see what's left of Belgium. Belgium is still hanging in there. Oh, we spotted a French artillery unit. It's up to level 1 now. Here we had a German sub actually run into a British sub. So that artillery piece concerns the Germans because that looks like it's lined up straight for Mulhausen. Here you can see Germany's got 2 artillery pieces come within range of Warsaw's outer defenses at least. So that wraps up May, and June is going to see the beginning of the full-on offensive against the Russians in Poland. See here, Bulgaria took an interest in the events of Serbia whenever Belgrade was taken. This is basically asking about frogmen, and for the Italians, we're going to say yes to that. It's well worth the investment. See, the UK just got some more artillery. Just want to show you real quick here. Bulgaria is all the way up to 75% now, so they are well on their way towards joining the Central Powers. If we can take Niš, which is the new capital, then we ought to be in real good shape for bringing Bulgaria into the war here. There's also some random events that occur now that Belgrade's fallen that'll gradually bring Bulgaria up. So it really is a matter of time now before Bulgaria joins. And as you can see, with Bulgaria being here, they'll be able to drive very quickly in on Serbia and help assist us. So hopefully Serbia's days are few and numbered, and we can bring those Serbian forces to bear, hopefully either to help free up some forces here in the Galicia border, or possibly up here into East Prussia, help Hindenburg out.